So this is actually my third reading from my first novel, The Glory of Love and The Glory of Love saga. This is actually from chapter 5. And this is Jordan's interview with the Just Breathe Foundation. Full description below in the comments. It is the day after Labor Day, and Jordan is driving to the Just Breathe Foundation for a volunteering job interview. It is located on the edge of Main Street, just before Diamante Street, in a building called the Main Diamante Plaza, with a lot of offices. She walks in and notices Just Breathe immediately in the directory. It's the only J listing. 8th floor, suite number 805. She heads to the elevator and rides upwards, repeating to herself, "I will win Night Razor's heart and the hearts of everyone in Crystal Isle. I will win Night Razor's heart and the hearts of everyone in Crystal Isle." She finds the door with the right number, but it's locked. She knocks, and it isn't a few seconds before a tropical, native-looking woman with dark skin like she's of some native ancestry, dressed in business chic, answers the door and immediately notices her. Jordan can't tell if she's disgusted or excited to see her. "Oh my goodness," the woman says. "You're Jordan Butler from Liberty City. And I take it you're a big fan of Peter Stevens and his family," Jordan guesses. The woman smiles and lets her inside. "Well, given all he's done to make a cure for cystic fibrosis within our reach, how could I not be? Also, I tend to listen to a lot of pop for teens and young adults, and I'm approaching 40. She and Jordan laugh together. "I take it you're here to see Caroline Massey. Let me take you to her." Jordan is led to Miss Massey's office. Her door opened. Inside, she sees a woman with a short blonde haircut, black trimmed glasses, whom she thinks could use some makeup tips. She keeps herself from asking if this woman only wears light foundation and lipstick. She wears a white turtleneck and black slacks that would likely make one sweat profusely in typical Crystal Isle weather. But she also knows it's inappropriate and unprofessional to ask about deodorant during a job interview. She resolves not to say anything and let Miss Massey ask all the questions. To her surprise, Miss Massey also knows Jordan when she sees her. Her reaction is mixed. Part of Jordan wonders if her being hired will bring down Just Breathe's reputation, and how many other full-time staff will quit in protest with her on the team. Is this what Miss Massey is thinking right now? But Jordan decides not to let this show. She shakes her hand and says, "Good afternoon, Miss Massey." "Same to you, Jordan Butler," Miss Massey replies. "Thank you for that wonderful email and attaching your resume along with it." Jordan sits across from Miss Massey and listens as she asks questions. "So tell me, Jordan, what attracted you to Just Breathe?" Miss Massey asks. "My friend and roommate Whitney told me about this," Jordan replies. "She tells me that you guys are very popular with philanthropists and families and even volunteers. She tells about all the fundraising events she put on and attended in Liberty City, all through her mother. She also talks about the celebrity statuses of both Matthew and Peter Stevens, and how Peter uses his own celebrity status to be a role model for fans. That's what attracted me to him and his family, and the fact that they all look dazzling. I've been accused by the media, child advocates, and parents alike of being a horrible role model for youth," she continues. "They say that all I do is bare my body for magazines, dress too little for nightclubs, as if that's all I go to at night, and sleep with anyone who will tear his shirt and flex his muscular body in front of me. They say that all my philanthropic works are for show. Sure, I show up at the event, get photographed, having a good time, and learning as I socialize, and donate cash amounts for the cause. But they say that if I gave at least half my money to charity, they'd be halfway impressed. Well, that's all fine and good, but I was sharing rent and bill expense with Peter when we were married." "I know about Matthew the Machine Stevens," Miss Massey grins, "one of the leading celebrity figures in fighting cystic fibrosis. And you were married to his son at one point, correct?" "I was," Jordan replies. "But despite his own contributions to charity, my mother thought that I was lowering my standards by being married to an artist." She waves two fingers on the word artist. "Not that I'm mad at her, but going along with her direction did ruin my reputation in Liberty City. She has an idea of what she wants in a son-in-law." Miss Massey smiles. "Well, you're in luck. Unlike Matthew Stevens, Just Breathe does not associate itself with celebrity, although we do sporting events as well as social. Here you'll see lots and lots of normal folks working to make a difference for children. Now, you may be a celebrity in your own right, but I think you plan to drop all that in order to fit in with Crystal Isle. She picks up Jordan's resume. I see by your resume that you're chiefly interested in social event planning. Yes, if there's one thing that gets me in the mood, it's a good party, Jordan answers. I have put on galas and benefit dance events for Matthew Stevens, and 3 times I rented out entire nightclubs for these events. In this case, it was a celebration event to kick off summer. But now that we're getting into fall, it's back to me seeking out rental halls. Not only have I done that, but I have also led decorating committees to get the locations looking beautiful for a successful event. I pick out amazing themes and colors and other such decor to make it unforgettable. I can take a formal dance event and make it look like a high school prom or seasonal formal. This along with choosing the entertainment, games, draws, and prizes to make an unforgettable night. She sighs harshly and rolls her eyes. And yet, one of the many people I could never impress here was my mother-in-law. You do remember that Diane Stevens is actually Peter's stepmother, Miss Massey reminds her. Yeah, don't remind me. Jordan rolls her eyes again. What else can you do in the fundraising realm, Miss Massey asks again. Can you put together an event for families, such as a picnic? I've never actually done that before. Have you had any experience with kids? Jordan shakes her head. Although one of my older brothers and some of my cousins are married with children, I'm not usually around them all that much. They don't ask me to babysit anyway. There aren't very many socialites on my father's side of the family, just my 2 sisters and me, and those who have usually slowed down since starting their own families. I left my whole family behind in Liberty City, but come the spring or summer, I can probably put on an event for older youth who have cystic fibrosis. I can certainly submit a child abuse registry check at your request, but I would like to get started as soon as possible. For now, I'll stick to social events for younger and older adults and the Crystal Isle social scene. How about you get started right away, Miss Massey suggests. The Just Breathe Foundation is one of the 4 nonprofit sponsors for the Crystal Wave Surf competition that is starting just this weekend. If you start perhaps tomorrow, your first assignment will be to put together and run an information booth, handing out literature and speaking about why it's important that we find a cure for CF. Are you up for the job? I am, Jordan replies. Excellent, Miss Massey responds. The annual Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Conference is also going to be held here in Crystal Isle, and we are planning a large social event to tie into that special weekend. You will also be responsible for putting it together. Jordan's grin can cover her face. Sounds pretty boss to me. I'd like to take charge in the planning. Food, raffles, the food, the drinks, I'll even find a good DJ. She is proud of herself, how well her interview goes. She has showed Caroline Massey that she has the drive to bring in funding and awareness. As she leaves the building, she starts thinking about Peter again. She knows he is the product of a one-time fling between Matthew Stevens and his former high school girlfriend in their senior year of college, Lorna Antwerp, and Jordan remembers all the bad things Peter and Matthew's family said about her. How she pushed Peter into a music career when she realized his singing talent. How she made him stay at home from school every Tuesday and Thursday to rehearse singing and dance, and it made him practice on Saturdays too. And all the punishments she gave out when he refused and wanted to go to school those days. Plus, she also physically punished him whenever he kept making the same mistake over and over and for losing a talent competition by even half a point. Jordan knows that Lorna had ignored all the warnings from Peter's old elementary school, and that it wasn't even the reason why Child Protective Services took him away and gave him to his father. She can't forget that story of how, at only 9 years old, Lorna was beating Peter's backside with a lint brush for losing on Budding Star by half a star, even though he gave a great performance and then recorded it all on videotape. Although Lorna broadcasted it as a warning to other disobedient child stars in the making, Jordan knows it was a mistake to give it to the television media. She remembers how her mother had shielded her away from it and how badly she was crying when the news story ended. Still, she wonders how Lorna would have fared as a mother-in-law. Certainly she hoped she would have been better than Diane was to her, even though she was an out-of-control stage mother. Surely Peter's mother changed after getting her son taken away, she says to herself. She stops at a stoplight and has a sudden realization. She talks to herself again. Jordan, that's all in the past. Focus on the future. You're living in Crystal Isle and Peter's not interested in taking you back. Think about Nightvisor. It's him you want. You love him and you love it here in Crystal Isle. Get Peter and his stupid family out of your brain. When the light turns green, she speeds up a little on her way home, but slows down whenever she approaches the car ahead of her. And that's the third reading. See you in the fourth reading, okay?